All right, you guys. So thanks for hopping on tonight. I'm really excited about this topic, and I know that we're kind of going over some basic topics these last few weeks, just because. Sorry, I was getting my train of thought here. So I know we've been going over a little bit of basic topics, and you guys are like, let's get into the meat of it. But I wanted to make sure that we all had our base ready to go, and we were comfortable before we started asking other customers to join our challenge groups, because there's nothing worse than joining someone who kind of feels like they're all over the place, because not only do you not feel confident, the person who you've brought on board to give your services to help, they kind of can sense that too. So I'm glad that we went over our back office so that you have that under your belt. And then the part that I want to go over tonight is really about the process of onboarding somebody into your life. And I say your life, and I know that that sounds like really dramatic, but I really feel like some of the customers that I have had for 4 years, or I met 4 years ago, are still my customers today. And I think that's because I've really focused on how I can help them, not only for 21 days, and I know I was just talking with Anita about this, but how we could help them beyond 21 days or help them beyond a challenge group, and we can really make this a lifestyle change for people. Because when you make this a lifestyle change for people, not only do they feel better about themselves and they feel more committed, and they're going to be a customer for life. So they're going to believe in the Beachbody products. They're going to be on Shakeology Home Direct every month. But they're also more likely that they're going to sign up for that coaching opportunity once you present it to them. And that's really important for not only your customer, because they're going to start getting a discount on their products and they can pay it forward, but for you, so that you can grow your business as well. Because our ultimate goal is help people make this a lifestyle change so that they onboard onto the coaching opportunity, and we all build our businesses. And not only are we living healthy lives, but we also live fulfilling lives with the rewards that come with being a coach. So with that being said, I just have a few points tonight. So I have 4 different points that I want to go over on how to really encompass all of this and make sure that you're giving your prospects and your clients the best opportunity that you can when they sign on with you. So the first thing I want to talk about is you guys need to select a niche within the health and fitness community. And what I mean by that is you want to select a group of people that you can relate to. So think about the experiences that you're going through right now, or think about the types of people that are in your life and how you can help them. So are you working full time right now, and can you relate to other women that are working full time? Are you a mom right now? Can you relate to other moms who, stay at home with their kids and feel like they don't have time, or are a working mom and don't have time for themselves? Do you want to help people who are coming back from a fitness injury? Do you want to help runners work on their nutrition? I help people, I've started with just helping people in general who are busy and want to, make this a lifestyle. But I focus my niche more into autoimmune fighters when I was diagnosed with my autoimmune diseases. And then when I was getting married, I focused my niche into women that are getting married. So there's something in your life right now that you are experiencing, or something that just happened to you that you are experiencing, that you can relate to other people. And those are the types of people that your posts should be attracting. Those are the types of people that you should be reaching out to. And I know that at first we want to help everybody, and that's great. And you absolutely should try and help everyone. You should try and help your friends, your family, but eventually you want to narrow that niche a little bit more. And I think you should constantly be thinking about that, because it's going to make it a lot easier for your challenge groups, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to connect with people through social media. So when you're sitting there and you're trying to make your posts every day, you want to start thinking about, who is it that I want to help? Who is it that I can help? And what experiences do I have, or am I going through, that I can help them? So once you define that, those are the types of posts that you should be targeting towards. And they should be things that are happening to you, that are relating to you, that are, happening in your day-to-day life, that you can post about, and other people are going to connect to those. So that's the first and the biggest point that I want to make is selecting people within a certain niche or a specific group of people that you can always and constantly be connecting with and have something in common with. The second thing is you need to define what helping people within the health and fitness industry means to you, or what does helping somebody reach their health and fitness goals mean to you. And write that one down, because this one's really good. So I want you to write down, not only like what does it mean to help somebody reach their health and fitness goals, but to get to that point and to figure that out, write down what has Shakeology done to help you, and what has a Beachbody program done to help you. And as long as you can answer yourself those two questions about Shakeology and a Beachbody program, you are absolutely going to be able to help so many people, but you're going to help them specifically with what each of those has done for you. And let me give you an example. So for example, I hated breakfast forever. I would never, ever, ever eat breakfast. And I tell this story all the time, but I used to give my breakfast to our neighbor that I drove to school every day, him and my brother, when I was in high school, because I hated breakfast so much. And I wouldn't eat until I got to, the cafeteria at 1:30 in the afternoon for the first time that day. And that really messed with my metabolism. And it was fine in high school, most likely because I was playing athletic sports and I was a really intense athlete. But once I got to college and I stopped being that athlete, I gained a lot of weight. And that might have had to do with other things. It might have had to do with some Bud Lights in between there. But I gained a lot of weight and I needed help with my metabolism. And so I started drinking Shakeology. My mom actually purchased my first few bags for me because she knew how important it was. She knew how much I was struggling, and she knew it had worked for her. So what Shakeology has done for me is it actually got me to start having my first meal of the day before 1:00 p.m. And it probably, I can't say for sure, but it probably helped reverse my metabolism back to a normal level since I was struggling with it so much for so many years. So that's what Shakeology has done for me. And when I'm talking to people, when I'm talking about Shakeology, I really hone in on that one thing, because that's an experience I have with Shakeology. Further down the road, Shakeology is what many doctors will tell you kept me alive when I was a celiac and didn't know it. And so I wasn't absorbing nutrients, and I probably should have been hospitalized at one point, but Shakeology was giving me the very little nutrition that I could absorb that was keeping me alive. So now that I focus on helping autoimmune fighters, I focus on that also is what Shakeology has done for me. So right now, in your head, think for a second, what has Shakeology done for me, and write that down. I then want you to think about what has a Beachbody program done for you. And my example is it helped me, lose weight after my senior year of college. After I'd gained probably close to 20 pounds, it helped me lose 14 pounds when doing Insanity. But more than that, it helped me understand, and what I hone in on is I have no idea what to do at a gym. I walk into a gym and I look lost. The only gyms that I really enjoy going to are ones that have a set structure or a class, or they offer fitness classes where there's an instructor there telling me what to do. But with my schedule and unfortunately with my autoimmune diseases being so tired all the time, I can't get to a gym. So I like that Beachbody offers high intensity workout programs that I can still train like an athlete, but from my own home, and they give me that structure. They tell me what to do because I don't like looking lost in a gym. So that's what I focus on when I talk to people. So those are two really, really important tasks that you really have to sit down and you really have to write out and have an answer to. And every time you're talking about Shakeology in your posts, or you're talking about a Beachbody program in your posts, or even when you're having a one-on-one conversation with people, when you're talking about Shakeology, I want you to say, Shakeology has done X for me. Or, Shakeology is a great source of protein, but it's not a protein drink. In fact, it has done X, Y, and Z for me. And when you talk about your own experiences with a customer, when you're having those one-on-one conversations and you can tell them how it relates to you, they're more likely to buy it and not shy away from that, oh my gosh, it's $130 price, than if you were to just say Shakeology is, full of vitamins and nutrients. It's not a protein drink, but it has protein in it, and you leave it at that. So make sure you can define in your posts and in when you're talking to people, what Shakeology and Beachbody has done for you. And I know I'm like totally honing in on that, but it is really, really incredibly important. Okay, so the third part is, we just talked about this, but you need to broaden your scope beyond 21 days and talk about with your customers, with your prospects in your posts daily. You need to talk about how this is a lifestyle change. So when you're talking to your prospects, you're going to talk to them about your challenge groups, right? So that's like step number one of obviously talking to a customer, is you're probably getting them interested in some sort of challenge group. And when you're talking to them, you're going to talk to them about like the 21-day fix, and you're going to talk to them about the containers, and you're going to talk to them about how, we're going to run this challenge group for 21 days and you're going to lose all this weight, and it's going to be, it's going to be amazing, right? And it is going to be amazing. It's going to be all those things. But the person you're talking to is probably really scared of the yo-yo, because we've all been on the yo-yo. You do really great for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you've lost it all. Like all of a sudden you're like eating Oreos at 3 o'clock in the morning behind like the closed doors because you don't want anybody to know, right? So you really got to talk to people about what will come after those 21 days. And I'm going to get to that in just a minute, but a few great resources, a few great things that you can do to start with that is talking about Beachbody On Demand. So we just launched, obviously Beachbody launched the year membership for Beachbody On Demand, and it's $99 without Shakeology, or $199 for their first month's supply of Shakeology and a whole year of access. And what you can talk to them about is, okay, we're going to start together. We're going to do the 21-day fix. You're going to get the portion control containers, and you're going to get the program. We're going to do this for 21 days. And then after that, because you have a whole year of access to these programs, you're going to complete 6 or 7 other programs throughout the year. And I'm going to be with you every step of the way. And every month when you run your challenge group, you're going to enroll that customer back into those challenge groups, because they've bought from you. They bought you, they bought a product from you. They bought a year's supply of Beachbody programs for you, which, by the way, you get 40% commission on that Beachbody on-demand purchase from somebody. So quick math I can't do in my head right now, but you basically get 40% of the $200 challenge pack, which typically we only get 25%. So that's a really, really big deal. And that's a really great commission for you as a coach. And then think about the value that your customer is getting. So I want you guys to start focusing on, and I think it's helpful that you start focusing on talking to customers about what will happen beyond those 21 days. Okay, so the next thing that you can do, and this is kind of like more of the streamlined process, is you guys can set up a Facebook group that is an ongoing group. And this ongoing group is a place where you can put everybody who's ever been a customer of yours, or that will be a customer of yours, into this group post-challenge group. So say somebody didn't buy the on-demand access pass and they just bought a challenge pack of the 21-day fix, but you knew after the 21 days you didn't want to lose them. You didn't want them to just fall off and go back into this yo-yo, because we know how bad this is, and we don't want our customers, we don't want our friends, we don't want our family members to do this. We don't want them to yo-yo, right? So by you creating one Facebook group that's an ongoing group that people will constantly be filtered into, and that you'll constantly be posting in maybe once a day, you have the ability to stay connected to your customers without having them in a challenge group every single month. And I think there's a lot of benefits to having this ongoing group. One is it's just a big Facebook group. There's no commitment. You don't have to commit to posting every day, or you don't have to commit to posting as much as you do in a challenge group. You're going to get this group to be like 50, 60, 70 people by the end of the year who, they're sharing their experiences. And remember at the beginning of this call how I said you need to kind of focus in on a niche group of people? Well, if you're focusing on a niche group of people and you're helping one group of people and you're going to put them all into one group, what's going to happen? You're going to have one group full of a ton of people who have all the same things in common. And let's just use the example, women who are working full-time and are moms. So that's your niche. Those are the people that you're like, that's who I'm going to help because that's who I relate to. all of a sudden all your customers are in one place and you have them in one group, that group is going to naturally explode. People are going to share their day-to-day struggles. It might not necessarily be about health and fitness, but they're going to connect, and you're going to create a community of people who all have this similar problem, who all have similar struggles, to be in the same place with each other every single day and talk and relate to each other. And that is probably one of the most rewarding things ever, is that you can create a community of people that are going to feel loved and supported and surrounded by what should be a bunch of strangers, but are a bunch of people who have something in common with each other. So that's how this all kind of comes together. And I just started reading about these, I guess, general groups where you can start bringing people in. And I personally have started mine. So anybody who's been a past customer of mine or who I enroll in 2017 on, once they go through a challenge group with me, that's the group that I'm going to put them in. So I never feel like I lost them, because there's nothing worse and nothing like more stressful to me than after a challenge group ends and I watch 4 people walk away that just invested, $140 or maybe more if they kept buying Shakeology. And all of a sudden our relationship is really hard to keep up with, because I don't know about you guys, but I can hardly text back my friends and family, let alone be texting clients and customers all the time and say like, hey, how are you doing? Are you keeping up with this now that you're not in my challenge group? And that can become really stressful to not have them all in one place and to feel like you constantly need to be like texting or connecting with them. So this big group is going to be that place. And I think what you guys are going to find from this is people are going to naturally see that you've created a community, and they're going to say like, hey, my friend really wants to be in this big group of moms who work full time, because I told her how awesome it is that we all talk about, like how our kids aren't eating green beans right now. And I was just wondering if she could be in it. And all of a sudden you have a referral to you that you can absolutely put them in this group, but you can also reach out to them and say like, hey, the first step is, and then walk them through these steps. So that's kind of where this is all coming to. So I kind of think of it as like a big pot that everybody needs to eventually come into. So how do you get people to this pot? Like, how should this process look? So the first thing that I always recommend to people is you can always have the option of running a free group. And a lot of people do free clean eating groups, and it's either a 3-day or a 5-day group where you give them a set menu, you give them a grocery list, which we have access to all this. It's in the Infinite Dynasty files. They can join this free group. You can go through it with them. And at the end of it, that's when you encourage them to join your challenge group. So it kind of gives them like a preview of what a challenge group would look like. So that's option number 1 of how you can enroll a customer into this lifelong process, into this lifestyle change, is start them off with this free group. So if you start them off with this free group, I suggest that your general group also coincides as your free group, so that you don't have so many like different groups going on at one time and you don't feel like you have to like keep filtering people. So within this big general group that you're eventually going to have, every first week of the month, I would consider adding or just running a free group in that. And it's obviously going to be for people that are past clients, or it's people that might be current clients, or people who are prospects who might be a client. And you add this to this big group, and the first week of every month you just do this free group to give people an idea of what a challenge group is going to be like. The second way you can enroll people into this lifelong journey is have them join your challenge group. So every single month you should be running one challenge group, and it should be just 3 to 5 people. It doesn't need to be a crazy amount of people. It should be probably 21 days. You usually lose people after 21 days as far as like checking in every day, but you also want their full attention for 21 days. And then after that 21 days, after you run your challenge group, that's when you're going to move them into that general group where they're still connected to you. They're still connected to a group of people who have the same things in common with them, but there isn't the pressure of you feeling like you need to check in with them maybe as in depth as you do in your challenge group, in your paid challenge group that you do every month. So it's more of a place where you can post once a day, you could post maybe just 3 times a week, but eventually that community is going to start running itself. You might have to put a little extra work into it for your first 3 to 6 months, but as you add people in there, as more people get added into there, that community is going to start running itself, and the accountability is going to start running itself. People are going to naturally start posting pictures of their food in there, and it kind of takes the work away from you, and it just kind of naturally flows. So that's the second way that you can get people started in on this lifelong process of a healthy lifestyle change. And then the third way is, of course, becoming a coach. And after you run a challenge group, you should always give people 3 options, but there's never the 4th option of just doing nothing and walking away. So the 3 options is become a coach. Become a coach because this is a lifestyle change, and coaches who are people who want this to be a lifestyle change become coaches. Now they can become a coach to pass on and pay forward what this lifestyle change means to them, to their friends and family, or they can become a discount coach and just continue this lifelong journey by using our discount. But either way, they should really become a coach at the end of this process. We'll talk about how you get people enrolled as coaches, or what you say to them at the end of challenge groups, and kind of like the technique behind that on a different call. Or we can do it one-on-one, wherever you're at in your Beachbody business right now. But you should be talking to them about becoming a coach in some way. Now, you're going to have pushback, and some people are just going to say like, no, I'm done. I don't want to be a coach. It's just really not for me, whatever maybe their reason is right now. And so what you want to do is add them back into this general group, so that once a month, twice a month, when you're enrolling new coaches and you're talking about that, what you're going to do is you're going to post about that in this general group of people who already love the Beachbody products, already know about Shakeology and everything it can do for them. Those are the people that you want to become a coach. And instead of having to message them every single month and be like, hey, did you think about that coaching opportunity thing yet? You have a general group where you can get their attention. It's smaller. They're gonna get a notification, opposed to you hoping they see it in your news feed. They'll get the notification. Okay, Erica posted in her, I'm just calling this a general group, about the coaching opportunity. You know what? She's posted about this 6 months in a row now. I've been on Shakeology for 6 months. I think I better reach back out to her and see what it's all about, and see if I can enroll in her new coach training. So that is your next step, or that's the next area or the next process, the next step that you can get people to see on how this is a lifestyle change. It's a lifelong change. So that's kind of the overall process, the overall look into getting people to view this as more than just 21 days and as a lifestyle change. And I think overall the general population doesn't want quick fixes. They understand quick fixes. Quick fixes have been around for a really, really long time. And I think sometimes even other Beachbody coaches on other teams really, just talk about, okay, well, here they are. I'm going to help you for 21 days, but after the 21 days, like, I'm on to the next. And I think what is unique about our team, and what we should really make unique about us and make people want to be on our team and join us, is because we see the value in this being a lifestyle change. And not only that, they're going to create lifelong friendships with you and lifelong relationships with people in that group. And you never know what that can do to save somebody's life. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it happens all the time. And I've seen it firsthand. I've had customers who have told me, like, without this challenge group or without your support, I wouldn't actually be here today. And that's really meaningful. So let me stop going on my rampage and just ask if anybody has any questions or any thoughts on, if you have any thoughts on other ways that you think would be good to keep people connected and see the value of this being a lifestyle change and not just a quick 21-day fix. Oh gosh, I see chats. Anita, it's about $80. Thanks, Anita. I knew I could count on you. Fabulous. All right, I can unmute you guys. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Amber?
I got added into someone's group, actually, general group.
Yeah?
I have no idea who this girl is.
And what do you think
I
of
think
it?
it's a great idea, except it's great, except she totally did her whole friends list.
Oh,
So
yeah,
don't do
no.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
So you
and
thought it would be beneficial?
I like the idea a lot. And like she posts really cool things. I stayed in it just like to get ideas because I wasn't really sure what she was doing. But now you said that, I was like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
I think like for me, like it's really stressful because like you'll get to a point, like think about if you have 5 people who join you every month for 3 months, right? That's 15 people that you have to somehow keep track of. Like I said, like I can't keep track of myself, let alone 15 people like individually checking in on. So I think this is just like a really good place. And I think that it's like without having to do like a newsletter or like something like really complicated. Like I feel like it's just like one general place, and that it's also like the area that, you know, if a new program comes out, like you have all your customers in one place that you can be like, hey, like Core de Force just came out, like maybe you haven't bought a new program in 2 years, like how about this program? You know, they already believe in Beachbody, they already believe in it. You know, those are the types of people that you want around.
I totally agree. And I think social media is what people use now. They're not going to look at your email and like be able to relate to you as easily. So
Right.
I think we'll do that, and it will be a nice transition to what our community is as coaches too. So
I,
they feel a part of something, and then you can say, hey, if you like this feeling, there's like a whole other group of us.
right. And I'm going to stop recording.